Hey guys, welcome back. Few changes in this week. We're going to talk about that.
I wanted to, before we get started, I wanted to say, hey, I know that our videos are a lot longer. It's kind of our format. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people who maybe listen for a shorter amount of time, we appreciate you watching as well. What we're really trying to do is encourage people to subscribe. So if you are not as familiar with how YouTube works, you click the red button. You don't get charged for a subscription. But that helps us to show up in search results, and we really appreciate if you could subscribe and share that today. We try to post it on Facebook when we have a new episode. Some days, some weeks we do better than others, but
hey, we work. You know,
we do. We work. We have kids. We're married.
This is a really fun time for us to get out and talk to each other really about some stuff, and then kind of let everybody listen in because sometimes it's a hoot.
True.
But yeah, so big stuff for me. I just quit my job.
Today?
Well, kind of.
Okay.
I mean,
what happened?
Every day is a new day for some people. It seems like one bit of information will travel so quickly around my facility, and then other days, like in this instance, people are just now finding out about it. People I talk to on a regular basis, and I thought they already knew, but for whatever reason, they were totally out of the loop, and the manager announced it today for some reason. He just made an announcement. I don't know, hey, Ryan's not going to be with us anymore. It's like, gotta have the last word or something. But yeah, so I felt that I've felt this way for a while. There's different issues in every workplace, and your immediate people that you work with are oftentimes the one who are kind of the deciding factor. If you like them and they like you, then you're going to have a good working relationship, and that can help take off some of the stank from other people. And there is some serious stank in almost every job. No matter what your position is, there's always going to be stress. There's always going to be people you don't want to deal with. And how you deal with those people will, influence whether or not you get to keep your job. Maybe they get to be reviewing you or something like that.
Yep.
So it wasn't a peer review. It wasn't any sort of...
well, it's for a good reason, though, right?
It was a good reason. I'm moving up in my industry. I'm a warehouse guy mostly, and I'm actually going to be moving back to a job I had a couple of years ago. I actually started there as a temp, and I worked there for my 6 months, got hired on full time, and I worked there for 3 years. And then I was like, well, money isn't coming in, and I have a lot more bills and more responsibility, so I need to move to more money, and then that job, and then this job. So 3 years later, I'm going back to the job I had before, and it's my birthday this weekend, so it's like I quit one job, turned to 32, and then on to a new job, and it's like let's kind of start a whole new chapter.
It really does feel a lot of times when you're changing jobs, like, or even in my case, so I just got notified that I was changing shifts about 2 weeks ago. Which, funny story, I got a call tonight, and they said, hey, there was an unexpected issue with one of the other people. We need you to stay on graveyards for one more week, which means I got up at 4 a.m. this morning because I'm on a day shift schedule now, and we've taken all the blankets down off the windows in our bedroom, and I'm all ready to be a part of the Daywalkers. And then, and absolutely, I'm willing to do it. It's not that big of a deal, but you need to be able to be flexible. But man, to get the call tonight and then make the change, and then we change the time we were going to do the shoot from Thursday to today, so we can do the shoot this week. There are a lot of things that happen, and I was really surprised. My team that I work with there, they put in a lot of effort. They got me like a candy bag, and so that was nice. And then they ambushed me. So they were like, hey, we go down at the end of every shift and we give everybody high fives and thank them for their hard work. That we just every single day we say thank you as people are leaving the facility. And so they said, oh, we want to take a picture with you. We want to take a picture with you. So just, come over here, stand in this. And I didn't expect anything to happen.
Right.
And so all of a sudden they drop these air puff bubbles off of like the third floor, boxes and boxes
I got
of
a funny story about those air bubbles.
and they just start raining down while we're standing there to take the picture, and it was really, really funny. And they had to clear it through safety. They had to clear it through the operations manager. Like, they had to do a whole bunch of stuff to get permission to be able to do this. And it was just it was ending on a fun note. And then today I got the call that I'm going to go back, so I have to show up tomorrow night and say, well, I'm just kidding.
Let's do
we'll do that. Reset. I enjoyed it so much. Let's do it all again. And yet you don't necessarily really know a lot of times what people that you work with, how do they really feel about you? Like, how does...
a lot of sighs, like,
yeah. Like, how do people really feel about us? You're leaving a job. How do they feel about you? I'm leaving
I think
the
there's
shift.
a lot of mixed emotions about my participation at my current job. I'm there this week to participate and work. I'm not milking it. I'm not going to take the rest of the time off and vacation. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm there to help because, unfortunately, there's never a good time to quit your job, especially in a position like mine where there's only a few people because the company, it can't accommodate, 2 or 3 shifts of people and just like shuffle people around, and we don't do as much cross training as we probably should to help with situations like this. But I'm leaving before a large freight shipment is coming in. It's like 50 something truckloads of materials going to be coming in, and there's only going to be 2 people doing it.
That's hard.
And it was just going to be 3 of us, but all 3 of us together, we could have probably taken care of it. And now I'm very confident in the people that I'm leaving behind that they're definitely going to be able to do the job.
But it is true though. There's not really a good time to make those kind of transitions.
And that's what I told them when I went in. I quit. It's my last week, and it was. I'm not able to give as much notice, to prepare them.
Sure.
But I'm able to. I think that I was very forthright with it. I told everybody who needed to know, and I gave them. I'm going to continue to help out as much as I can.
Right. You don't want to get fired.
I don't want to get fired
last
before
week
I quit.
of quitting.
But I'm still dealing with some of the issues that are there, which is like the main reason that I stayed around so long is because of the people, not the management or anybody else. It was the people that I work with. They're friendly. I made enough money. I've said it before. I wanted to make enough money to be comfortable. I want to be able to go out and eat dinner, and I want to be able to pay my bills. I don't want to have to sit here and go, oh no, I can't. It's between, milk or the baby formula. Like, I know that there's people who go through those situations in life, and being able to basically pave your own way is very important for me anymore. Like, I used to have kind of a, devil may care attitude where I just, do whatever and see what happens and temp and do all this
It all
stuff.
changes though when you get a family.
I don't think I would have had a family if I couldn't have afforded it. That's a kind of a big thing for me. It's like, I didn't want my son, to be a burden on me financially. So we planned this. We said, we're going to spend so much money on these things, and like, we're going to have an idea of what we want to do, and this is, if it happens, it happens, and so we're going to go for it. And it didn't happen, and it's like, okay, well, cool, just let it go. But a couple months later, and there's the baby, and it's like, wow, okay, my job. And this is actually, she was pregnant when I got this job that I'm leaving right now. And I told the guy then, it's like, I will do what it takes to make sure that they're okay.
Right.
I will make sure that I can keep my job or that I can provide for them. And I'm not expecting, raises and this, that, and the other thing. I'm literally just here to do my job and get paid for it so I can be comfortable at home. And when the baby was born, I brought it in. Everybody got to see it. It's like even people I didn't care if they knew the kid existed. I was like, hey, it's a baby. Yeah, it's a baby.
You're excited. I think it's really sad, though. You do see a lot of it. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I see more people in this situation than not. But I feel like I talk to a lot of people and I'll say, okay, so you're making this amount of money per year. Mm-hmm. You have, a family. You've got a baby or you've got another baby on the way. Or let's just say you have hobbies, right?
Yeah.
And you're 22. You're 23, right? What do you want to be making per year? And they'll tell you numbers that are off the chart. I mean, they'll tell you numbers that I find absolutely incredible. Like I would quit my job for the kind of numbers that they're talking about. And then they go, yeah. I go, so okay, so that's a lot. How are you going to get there? And they go, well,
it'll just kind of fall. I'm
going to work my way up. Is the first thing they say. And I'll say, well, do you have any education? They'll say no. I'll say, are you reading any books on business or leadership or, promotion or managing people or good working? No. Are you saving up money to go to college? No. What do you do with your spare time? Well, I watch the football game and go Hawks and, or go Patriots or go Cowboys or whoever it is. And
they're just making money off of you, FYI. You're not getting anything more than a little bit of hoorah and hanging out with the buddies.
All I'm saying is that when I really talk to people and really ask them, what are you doing and why? A lot of times I hear, well, I'm just going to do what comes along. Mm-hmm. And one of the hardest things, I've said this now to several people that I've worked with, I've asked them, do you love they'll say, I'm not a school person. I'm not a military person. I don't want somebody telling me what to do. And I'll say, okay, but do you love your child more than you dislike that inconvenience? Like, I don't enjoy going to school. I learn things from it, but I struggle to put the time into it. I'm by nature, I'm a procrastinator. Yeah. I want to wait till the last minute. I want to have all my entertainment first. And it's a struggle for me to do it. And so far, I've done well at it for this first year that I've been doing it. And at the same time, there's been a lot of nail-biting moments where it was 1 a.m. and I was trying to type out a paper and finish something up because I was struggling with my priorities. So when I talk to people and they're 20 years old and they're making $14 an hour, and I say, what are you going to do to get to where you want to be? And they say, I'm not sure. I'm just going to work my way up. I kind of want to slap them in the head.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to, right?
Right, well, you're not allowed to slap people in the head.
I believe spanking should come back to school because it taught kids, like even if the teacher was mean, you might hate your teacher growing up, but they teach you.
You gotta have discipline at home though first, right? Like even if you had discipline in the school system and you didn't have discipline in the home system,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, right? No. So
we did. We had that discipline.
We had discipline
that told us, you got to respect your elders, the people in authority. You have to do the things that are laid out for you. Your chores. If you don't do your chores, you're in trouble. And chores equal work. Work equals pay. Pride in what you do, because when I did a good job putting away the dishes or something like that, and I was like, I did my chore before you told me to. It's awesome.
Right.
Like you should have rewarded me. And they're like, do it again tomorrow. And I'm like, what? Forget that.
But you
just want that.
You do have ambition though. And this is, I think, the thing that's missing from a lot of these people that I talk to. You have to have ambition in life if you want to get to your ideal state. You don't. I'll tell my story, my job transition story, my worst job transition. I got fired from Walmart. Okay? Fired. Worked there 2 years. Loved it. I was 17. I had money. I had a 1983 Ford Fairmont, steel brick, dark brown, amazing, loved it. I had, at the time, I had a girlfriend, and I thought I was doing pretty good. I lived at home, and I was fine with it. I didn't have ambition to go beyond that point.
Right.
And so I enjoyed Walmart because I knew everybody there. I was working, and I felt this way. I said, I actually wanted to be a manager at Walmart.
Well, you worked in the original Walmart, I think.
In Spokane, where we grew up. There was the first one there. But they would tell you, like, oh, we've got a management training program, and we train people up, we get them money for college, we do all these cool things. You can do that. And I was like, awesome. Yeah. So I wanted to work at Walmart and become a manager. And I was like the cart pushing king.
Yeah.
It was me and one other guy.
Before the robots.
We went back and forth with the metal carts, not these wimpy plastic carts. And I could push 99 carts downhill in the snow both ways. So I went out to help a lady. I'd taken my break late. I would take my breaks late all the time. I took my break late, and that's how it had always been at that store. And we got a new assistant manager Clay. Total bro, right? This guy was like super jacked, wore button-down shirts to work every day, pink ones because he's a bro.
Right.
And
salmon,
it's every pastel color you've ever seen on an adult man, right? And he was in shape, and he was in charge, and he was like, definitely had that like super authoritarian mindset. And he told me, you will take your breaks on time, and that's the way it's going to be. And I said, well, I got to help the customer. Because we have it written up on our wall that we're going to help the customer. He's like, you will take your breaks on time. I was like, all right. Basically, whatever.
Right.
Next day, I got a call. I was on break. I got a call. I was the only guy there available. And they said, hey, we have a lady who needs help out with a bike. I said, okay, cool. Got up, off my break, walked out, helped her, walked back to break, sat back down. He came in the room and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I just had to go help a lady. He said, you were on break. I said, yeah, she needed help. He goes, you're coming with me. They took me into the room. They gave me a pink slip. I was fired that same day.
See, that in itself is someone who wanted you gone for whatever reason. There is a vendetta there. Whether it's the grand scheme or not, he had a vendetta or something against you, not.
But I also thought I knew better.
A crime family or whatever.
This is the hard part about, you can be right. You can be 100% right and lose.
If you break whatever the rule of is...
It doesn't even matter if it's a rule.
It does, because if there's an authority figure, if my kid grabs a hot pan off the stove because, he doesn't know better, and I told him 1,000 times no, it doesn't matter. It's he got hurt, but I still am in trouble in a sense. And I don't know how that exactly applies to this. I mean, I'm going to be in trouble because I wasn't watching him if it wasn't my problem.
Do you want to
I feel like I'm in trouble.
This might be a bad story.
Anyways, skipping over that. My kid's never burned himself on the stove, but he can.
That was an entirely hypothetical story.
He can reach it. He's a beast. He's like not even 2 years old.
Your boy is
2 this month, and he's reaching like 37 inches. So I mean, he's got, he's going to be big. But if you have a rule, one of the reasons why I'm leaving is we actually don't have cutoff times. We're not allowed specific cutoff times for receiving and shipping and will calls and stuff like that.
You're saying this is a reason you're leaving your
One
current...
of the many, many factors that made the transition a little bit easier for me to stomach. It was, we have no set hours. We don't know when things are going to show up. The dock is always busy, and then it's not busy. It's break time. Bell rings. You go sit down, and then somebody backs up to the door and walks in, and even if you tell me, don't worry about it, you can sit there and take your break. It's like, you're obviously here to work. You're not on your break. Mm-hmm. I'm going to help you because you're the customer, and you need to get help right now so that if somebody else shows up 5 minutes later, which does happen, sometimes you don't even get to take a break that day.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen. And I don't resent the fact that I wasn't able to take breaks because I feel like, honestly, I don't really need breaks.
They're nice to have.
They're nice to have. It's nice to have time to sit down and eat. But unless you're eating or you're a smoker or something like that, you really don't need to take time off because It depends how physical your job is. Maybe you really are tired. You need the break.
You don't recover in 15 minutes.
No, not really.
Nobody does. It doesn't matter how athletic or how physical
I
your
think
job
power
is.
naps are a waste of time.
Sure.
I don't like to sleep, honestly.
You come back more groggy. Look, like, breaks were invented as part of
the unions.
Well, look, I mean, I think unions have done a lot of good things for the country, but they were put in place to space out the workday, right?
Right.
And to have paid breaks.
Well, it used
Like,
to work
to
like
have-
16-hour days.
To have paid time where you're not doing anything that produces value is a very, I don't know, it's just a concept that's not common in the world.
Right. Here.
It's just not common in the world. There's 7.5 or 8 billion people on the planet now, and I guarantee you most of them don't get a paid break.
Or a
They
livable
just
wage.
They just don't. So, you know, America. So we all have these things that are hard in our jobs. We don't necessarily know how people feel about us in our jobs. A lot of times we don't even necessarily know how our boss feels about us in our job.
Well, they
And
can't
then-
tell you they don't like you, because if you don't...
And then we get the feedback on, like, we get an appraisal or whatever it is. And then a lot of times, I even remember in my appraisals in the military, it was like, you're meeting expectations. And everyone always meets expectations, because if you don't meet expectations,
You're not in the military anymore.
you go to military jail.
Yeah.
So the idea that we can really grow and change and develop ourselves I don't know, it seems like it's kind of a fallacy. That really what we've got to be doing is we've got to be educating ourselves. We've got to be pushing. And again, I say that like raw ambition. You've got to want stuff in your life. So that
Well, you see great achievers and you say, wow, I wish I had that. I wish I was that guy. And the fact is, you probably can be that guy. You know, everybody who's heavy or something like that can get off the couch and work out and, you know, not sit at the computer and watch our videos. Please subscribe. It's, you have to decide when you're going to get up and when you're going to do the next step, and like when you're going to leave something that has no progress. I don't have upward mobility in my job. I don't have sideways
you
mobility.
do now.
In
your new
my
position.
future job.
Yeah.
And even the guy who told me, it's like, your position now, titled supervisor, is actually going to give you something on your resume.
It really does.
He told me that before he even gave me the job.
It's huge.
So,
Yeah.
knowing that, and my other option before this was I was actually going to go to police testing. I want to test for the police, but I don't feel like I'm physically ready yet. But he told me, you know, in 6 months, if you want to go do the test, you want to try and become a cop in 6 months, I would never hold you back. So to have that as a forward option, like, you can go forward and you can do whatever you want as long as you're happy. That's what you need to do for yourself. Then why shouldn't I want to work for this guy?
That's the right thing to do.
So,
Well, and I think even, I guess, I know we got to close here, but even beyond that, like, you've got to make decisions about where you're trying to get to, right? And sometimes, if your goal is hard, the road is hard.
for sure.
And you got to, like, strap yourself up and go do it.
Skip the baby steps and just do it. Because if you can't do it, like, I want to run a mile in 10 minutes. Okay, so try and run a mile day one. Don't say, well, I'm going to run a half a mile and work my way up. Try to run that first mile. And if you get there in 12 minutes, you know,
At least you know where you are.
You got somewhere to go from. You can't start halfway and expect your
That's a really good point.
Expect your goal to just like happen over time. You have to go full on, and once you've done that, then you can figure out where you need to work and improve. And I feel, you know, birthday coming up, this is one of the best birthday presents I can have.
It's awesome.
And it's odd timing too, because I actually left that place like 2 days after my birthday, and now I'm going back 2 days before my birthday. It's like weird, man.
Life's strange sometimes. Well, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it as always. Please like, comment, subscribe. Comments are super, super important. That gives us something to respond. So if you think we're doing good, thumbs up. If you think we're doing bad, thumbs down. Comments down below. We appreciate you for watching.
If you like our green screen table, and maybe there'll be a dinosaur hanging out in this general vicinity. You don't know. We don't know. We'll see. Editing. No, not going to do it. Anyways, see you guys.
Bye.